Sometimes life calls for family situation where you need to dedicate more time with your family at home. And as a freelancer or somebody who runs their own business, that can cause a lot of stress. Hey everybody, what's up and welcome to another segment of Wins and Fails where I share what happened last week in my business and how I'm planning this week. And last week, honestly, was one of those weeks where I had to spend a lot of time at home because there was kind of a family issue. I won't go deeply into it, but it was around my son's kindergarten and I had to finish early multiple days and even had to go for a meeting at the middle of the day. And so I didn't get to the office for a whole day. And so that might have been one of those weeks that a lot of stress is created. Now, I remember, back when I was a full-time employee, like years ago, whenever a situation was like this was happening, it was not a big deal. I would just tell my boss, look, I gotta go. There was one of these events, where we had somebody from the family hospitalized for a period of time back when I was working full-time at a branding agency. And so a lot of days I had to miss work or finish up really early. And I remember it was uncomfortable because you had to tell your boss, I'm not going to be able to stay here at work. But, it wasn't your own business. So it was kind of like, all right, that's what I got to do. I got to take care of me. But over the last 5-6 years, when I've been running my own business and being freelancer full time, every time I had to take off time to spend with my family, even though, it's super important to me. And one of the reasons where I moved into, being a freelancer and running my own business was I wanted the control and the ability to spend my time with my family however I wanted. The truth was that I was feeling super responsible for the business side. So every time I had to step up and be at home, I would always feel the anxiety of not working, not producing revenue, and, feel guilt and stress and then having less time to work. Now, this week was different, and I think it's definitely because of the 75% scheduling. I've mentioned that on previous episodes here, where I only try to schedule 75% of my time so that I have kind of a buffer time, and I'm not trying to plan for every productive hour of the week. Last week was one of those weeks where I've actually managed to plan for 75 hours, and the fact that I had to take a lot of time off did not cause any stress, which was an amazing feeling to discover. Now, again, last week was not a great week. By the way, now things are much better. So thank you. Nothing to be worried about at the moment. But, it was this stress that was caused and the fact that I had to go there. Once that was happening and I realized, hey, I'm still managing to do what I plan to do this week. And there's no added stress, even though I have to leave early or not even show up at work. That was an amazing thing to do. So to feel and understand. And so I think that this totally proved, again, the 75% method, which I've mentioned. And so that was really, that was the highlight of the week because most of my week was revolving around that. That being said, I did manage to do some things, that was the first week with actually my YouTube channel was edited by my new editor, Nick, which did a phenomenal job. So I'm super happy about that. Having somebody on the team, my team is growing and I feel like, I can focus more on delivering the value and having other people helping me with other things. I've also managed to find another editor for Trust the Process, the documentary, which I'm working on at the moment, which hopefully I'll be able to publish by the end of the month. So that's also something great that happened. And I feel like things are moving along. So, I'm always stressing around feeling like every week I'm reviewing my week and I was like, yeah, I did this and this and this, but I still get the feeling where the progress is so slow. And this is something painful. This is something that every business knows. You want things to move quickly. You want to see the graph, and the sales and the revenue and everything goes fast, but everything is really always much slower than it actually is. But I'm happy that at the end of the day, when you look at what happened, what needed to happen, the things happen. Now, regarding the family, I think that, a lot of business owners or people who talk about work-life balance, a lot of people say family first. And then at the end of the day, you see them hustle, hustle, hustle. And I think you have to see what really happens at the end of the day. And so I felt like this week was one of those weeks where I can actually say, okay, family first, here's the trade-offs that I did, and I'm happy with them. I'm comfortable with them. Even if the business will move, a little bit slower, I'm still feel that I'm happy and I was there for my family when they needed me. So I'm looking up for this week where hopefully I've also scheduled 75%. That was, by the way, that was also tough because I only did 75% last week. This week, I kind of had an overflow of things. So again, I scheduled more than 100%. But then at the end of the week, had a call with my coach and he was like, no, don't do this. Let's make the hard trade-offs now. He made me kind of erase around 25% of my week. And he said, don't stress about this. It's going to happen a week later. Don't do this. So again, reduce the planning to 75%, and hopefully this is going to be a good week. I'm going to have a lot of meeting with interesting people that I will be recording with for the upcoming episodes of the podcast and the blind date segment of the show. And so I'm looking forward for this week. Hope you guys are going to have a great week as well. I'll see you tomorrow.